Hello and welcome to another Free History Online video. Today we're looking at Germany 1890 to 1945 and we'll be revising Hitler's rise to power. So in today's lesson, we will be revising the content of Hitler's rise to power, as I have already said. We'll also be doing the bullet point question, and we'll be looking at Hitler's rise to power by explaining two key aspects. And this is a really important skill for AQA, but also for IGCSE, OCR, having two given ideas, and you've got to explain both and conclude them. But firstly, let's see how well your knowledge has been going by going to a quiz. Now, if you've not quite had a chance to revise this content, do follow the link now, have a little revision of the knowledge, and then come back and do the quiz. Okay, over to the quiz area. Right, let's have a look at this quiz then. So here are 8 good factual questions thinking about the rise of Hitler to power. Firstly to Chancellor, and then some of the key events making him dictator of Germany. So, number 1, how many people were unemployed in Germany? How many people were really crucial to maybe voting Nazi in 1932 when they became the biggest party? How many major banks collapsed? Okay, they middle class maybe, now they've got no money, now their business is collapsing, maybe they'll vote Nazi. What percentage of unemployed people did not receive any government aid? Okay, these people will be abandoned by the government. Maybe they'll give up on them and vote extreme parties. How many seats did the Reichstag gain in July 1932 election? Who convinced Hindenburg to make Hitler Chancellor? Okay, and said he could control him, a key moment. Hitler wouldn't have made Chancellor otherwise, perhaps. What did Hitler gain after the Reichstag Fire? So a set of laws that helped him gain even more votes when he had the March 1933 election. Which law gave Hitler 4-year dictatorial powers? So he came out of the March 1994 election pretty much with a majority when he worked with the nationalists, and he banned the communists, and he managed to pass a law to give himself dictatorial powers. And then to control his party, who did he kill in the 90 Long Knives that was a threat to his power? So let's maybe have a pause, jot down your answers quickly, and then we'll look at the answers. Okay. So here we are, question 1, 5.5, 6 million unemployed. Figure around about there will be fine for your exams. 5 major banks collapsed. 45% of people without any help. Nazis had 230 seats, July 1932, the largest party. Von Papen made Hitler Chancellor. After Reichstag Fire, he had emergency powers to ban other parties, to crush their meetings, and really sort of sell his own party a lot more. Which law gave Hitler 4 years dictatorial powers? We've got the enabling law. And who did Hitler have killed in the 90 Long Knives? Ernst Röhm. Now, if you didn't do very well with that, have a look back at my video or follow the links in my comments to a Quizlet page full of revision cards and also other quizzes that you can use to help revise your content a little bit more. But now, we need to start thinking about our exam skills. So I hope you did well in your quiz and your revision's going well. Now we're going to look at the bullet point question. We're going to see grade 9 skills towards answering a small essay with great success. So here we are with the exam question. Now, if you're going to use this interactive lesson effectively, then do pause as we go along and try and answer the question. At the end, there'll be an example answer for you to mark some of your work. Stage 1 of that adventure is that here is your exam question. It's, as I said, is quite similar to AQA, IGCSE, have these types of questions. Okay. So our starting point then, possibly, if you're going to write along with me, is write down the question. And then what I'd like to do is think about what are the key words in the question? What are the important words? So like you'd be in the exam, hopefully you're going to highlight the key words, the topic, the important words, and you're going to think about what they mean before you start answering the question. So if you need to, pause me now, jot the question down, start having to think about the important words. If you're just going to listen, then that's fine, and we'll move on. So here are some of the important words. So which is the more important reason? So we need to conclude by the end, which is the most important reason? The topic, Hitler to be dictator. Reichstag Fire, Night-Long Knives. Those are things we must talk about. And we've got to explain with reference to both these bullet points. That's another instruction. We must talk about both bullet points to get 12 marks. Okay, so what does that look like as a success criteria? Okay, again, you can pause, have a think, make a little list, if you like, of important things you need to try and achieve. Okay, and so we are going to be thinking about the success criteria of write a appeal paragraph for each bullet point, of course. Okay, write a appeal paragraph for each bullet point. Write a point of argument supported by factual examples. So start your paragraph with an argument, then support that with some facts. Okay, we'll come to what that might look like in a minute. Focus on the question when you explain. So we've made our point, we've given some evidence, we're now going to explain how this helped Hitler rise to be dictator. Okay. Then we're going to evaluate, either going to give an extra strength and explain a little bit more, a wider idea, or we could think about, however, this isn't quite as important, and think about a weakness. Once you've explained both bullet points, you must do a conclusion, comparing your decision. It's relatively straightforward what we need to do. So here's your chance to have a go at writing along with me. We're going to go through a paragraph on the Reichstag Fire. Have a think about your opening sentence. Is it quite, or is it very important? I suggest you think about the consequence of Reichstag Fire. We've got the emergency law straight afterwards. And the emergency law is because of Reichstag Fire, and that enables Hitler to bring in, well, I've said accidentally, the enabling law, which gives him the 4 years dictatorial powers. Could he have made himself dictator if the communists weren't banned? If everyone wasn't scared there was going to be a revolution, if he hadn't gained the emergency powers to crush other parties, could he have got the enabling law through? You've got to make a decision about that. So make your decision and think about your reason why. So you can pause me and give an idea. Now try and set up your argument. Okay, so now let's give an example. So for example, and you need to support your point with the evidence. Maybe it's discussing the emergency powers. Maybe we're going to be discussing about the impact of the Reichstag Fire in another way. I'd be surprised, but I think emergency powers probably is a sensible plan. Then you think about this helped Hitler be dictator. Okay, so up in the hints at the top there, I've got the enabling law. Okay, to think about, and how this led to him being able to get the 4 years dictatorial powers. Okay, so you've now explained one aspect of his rise to be dictator. Now have a think about this. Are you going to be thinking about strength or a weakness? Is this a really strong argument? So furthermore, this helped him to be dictator because, and give a second idea, explain another idea. So, you know, or you can take a step further. He's got 4 years dictatorial powers. He's then going to ban other parties by the summer of 1933 and create a one-party state. So you've got other ideas there to think about. Or is this quite a weak idea? However, it's not so important because actually this other event in the short term is really important, maybe without referring to the Night-Long Knives necessarily, but another event that enables having this big political power to create a dictatorship. So if you need to pause me at all to write an answer and give it a go, then go for it. Okay, and then on the next slide, there'll be an example answer for you to mark your work. So here we are, here is example answer. So firstly, the Reichstag Fire was a very important reason why Hitler became dictator, because it helped him gain a Reichstag majority and introduce the enabling law, which you could say gave him huge political powers, of course. For example, due to the fire, Hitler gained emergency powers, closed down opposition meetings in the run-up to the election, and he was able to ban the communists. Okay, that's got a few facts in it. It's reasonable evidence. You connected the emergency powers to the Reichstag Fire. This helped Hitler become dictator because he gained the 44% in the election. By banning the communists, making alliance with the nationalists, he had a Reichstag majority, so he could start to do pretty much what he wanted. Furthermore, this helped him become dictator because the Catholic and Centre Party were willing to support Hitler. They were scared of the communists and leading a rebellion. And so they voted with Hitler to make a 2/3 majority to change the constitution and bring in the 4-year dictatorial powers through the enabling law. So you needed 2/3 because it was a constitutional change. It was obviously a big, big law change, bigger than normal. I hope you did reasonably well on that. And you can have a bit more of a practice as you think about the second paragraph. So here's a writing frame for the second paragraph. Have a go at the Night Along Knives. Think about, obviously, destroying opposition in his party, getting the support of the army. They make the oath of allegiance to Hitler when he chooses them over the SA. So when you're explaining, think about the SA removed. Ernst Rommel is removed as a threat. He's no longer going to be challenging Hitler with his 2 million SA men. And again, as I said, the army oath to Hitler personally. That's a massive factor, isn't it? Becoming a dictator, having the army on your side personally. Okay, give that one a go, and I'll aim to put some answers in the comments for people if they wish to have something to mark their work with. So I hope you found today's lesson useful. We've practiced our grade 9 skills with a bullet point question and revised Hitler's rise to power. Look out for more videos soon. We're looking at Hitler's control and Hitler's life within Nazi Germany. Okay, so bye-bye for now.